All praise is due to Allah, who has united the hearts of the believers in Islam and has made it an obligation to remain united and has made it forbidden to become separated in his clear book. I bear witness that there is nothing worthy of worship except Allah, who guides to the straight path whom he wills, and I bear witness that our leader Muhammad is his messenger and the best caller to the way that is straight. O Allah, send your prayers and your peace upon our leader Muhammad and upon his family and upon his companions, whose hearts were united and whose souls were educated, so that they became victorious leaders. And what follows thereafter, O believers of Allah, I advise you as well as I advise myself to first have the proper regard for Allah and thereafter be obedient to him. Dear believers, I greet you with the universal greetings of peace. As-Salamu alaikum, which means peace be with you. This week we are looking at the attribute of As-Sabur. And this one means to be the patient or the most patient. And when we think of these attributes of Allah, of our Creator, we know that they are not in comparison to what we as humans, as creation, view as patient. Our understanding of what Allah's patience is very small, and even the terms of being patient, as-sabur, is something that gives us a point of reference for us to even think or engage this notion or this idea, concept of Allah being the patient. And so we know for us, when we think of patience, we think of maybe we're dealing with something. Maybe we're experiencing some kind of heartache. Maybe it's some kind of trial that we're working through. Or maybe we're being patient on our job, knowing that at the end of 2 weeks or at the end of a month we're going to receive some money. Or maybe it's a conversation that I'm having that I know that, or I'm hoping that at the end of this conversation, I will have achieved whatever the goal was that I set forth for myself when I begin this conversation. So this idea of patience for us is short term. And even the idea of, if I'm engaging with someone who may be antagonizing me, if I'm engaging with someone who maybe doesn't have the same views as me, and maybe they aren't effective communicators, maybe they're aggressive when they speak, maybe they're violent in their actions, and I'm thinking about this patience, that I have to be patient just long enough for this time to pass, or just long enough to get out of this situation, or for something better to come, something better to happen. This is our idea of patience. And when we think about the Creator and being As-Sabur, we think about how he is patient with us. How for some he allows to reach later on in life. They reach their 60s, they reach their 70s, they reach their 80s, and throughout this time, maybe these people aren't living up to their full potential, their full religious potential, and Allah is being patient with them. That maybe I won't take them just yet, because I know that they may turn themselves around. Or I'm being patient with them because maybe they just need a little more time to come back to me, because maybe they did something good early in their life, and I want to, and Allah just wants to leave that space for them. So He's patient. He overlooks these shortcomings. He overlooks these flaws that happen in the moment. He is As-Sabur, and for many of us, that's not something that we can do. We want to exact retribution immediately. We want to see change behavior immediately. We want to see results immediately. From our kids, from our spouse, from those that work with us. We want things to happen right then for us. But Allah is As-Sabur. He is the patient. أقول كذا استغفر الله لي ولكم الحمد لله رب العالمين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم إنك حميد مجيد. So Allah is As-Sabur. Now going back to this idea or this notion of how we are as people dealing with others, when we have a situation that arises and maybe it doesn't sit well with us. Maybe it's with our spouse, maybe it's with our child, and there's something that we're asking them to do or telling them to do that is for their benefit, that is going to improve the condition of their life, either long term or just in that moment. And maybe it's something that we've told them over and over again. We've mentioned on several occasions. And at some point they say, yes, I'm going to do this. Yes, I'm going to make this change. And maybe for a little while they do. But then they go back to the same habits. They go back to the same ways. And for us, we begin to lose trust. We begin to think that maybe they're not trustworthy. Maybe they're not an honest person. And even though it may be our children, and we may not say, hey, I don't trust you, but maybe I don't listen to you. Or maybe my child doesn't listen to me and they don't give me the respect that I feel that I'm owed, whether rightfully or just implied through personal thought. And maybe my spouse has done something that I may view as a non-negotiable, something that I'm definitely not into. And they say they're going to change. And they keep doing the same thing over and over again. No matter how many times that they've seen or heard me say it, they keep doing the same thing over and over again. And now, with my spouse, I'm ready to get rid of them. I'm ready to put them out the house. I'm ready to separate and break up my family because this person has consistently, over and over again, said that they are a member of my family, said that they are my spouse, wear my name. But the actions that they do not resemble the spouse of someone. The words that they speak do not resemble the identity that has been established or that was thought to be established of what this family stands for. And I'm ready to push them away. And my child, I think that my child is a liar and they're not going to listen. And I try and tell them all the things that are good for them. And so I just push them to the side. And I ignore them and I don't reach out to them. I don't try to help them. I don't try to do anything else anymore because I'm frustrated that they don't listen to me, that they don't respect me. They don't respect me for who I am as their parent, as the one who brought them into this world. This is us. And we may still view ourselves in some instances as being patient, able to stand in line, able to drive a long distance, able to wait on hold, able to be at work and put up with so much stuff from our superiors. But no patience for the family. Now Allah, As-Sabur, the patient, He listened to you every single day when you got on your knees and you cried and you prayed and you told Him that you're never going to do this thing again. And He listened to you. And you went back and did the same thing. He listened to you every time that you were supposed to pray. And in your mind, you made up some excuse as to why you weren't going to pray. And He didn't push you away. And He provided the Quran. He provided the example of the Prophet. He provided communities. He provided other believers. All these things. He even helped somebody develop the internet where they could then put the Quran and access all this information at your fingertips on your phone just so you could be a better person. And you disregarded it all. But He didn't push you away. Allah is As-Sabur. Allah is the patient. He is still there for us, being patient with us, so that inshallah, God willing, that we will make the proper choice, that we will see the value in what He has given us, what He has provided for us. Allah is As-Sabur, the patient. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار ربنا تقبل منا إنك السميع العليم إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين لا شريك له بذلك وأمرت وأنا المسلمين الحمد لله رب العالمين آمين.